Energized show, up the Irish.
Okay, what's going on, guys, and welcome to a brand new episode of Energized, the Face Off. Ross, introduce the guest, man.
We are kicking off Cage Warriors Belfast like Cage Warriors are with this absolute middleweight banger between Paddy McCorry and Jordan O'Neill. Lads, how are you doing?
Good, very good.
Grand.
Lads, this matchup almost originated here on the face-off. Jordan, in your last amateur fight, you fought Troy Gibson, and Paddy jumped on the mic halfway through the show with that face-off, and here we are now today. Jordan, tell us, how did it feel getting that Cage Warriors contract, and what was it like when you heard it was going to be against Paddy?
It was good. It was good for it. I had an idea that Cage Warriors was going to be the next step. I didn't really want to be fighting about in small shows. As a pro, I want to just go straight on and fight the best about, and Paddy's probably the best in Ireland, so get him on the road and then go on to the best in Europe, you know what I mean? So that's the plan.
And then, Paddy, what was it like when you've got to find out you were fighting Jordan, especially after he just beat your teammate there at Cage Legacy?
It was good, bro. I always had this date in mind all year. I kind of knew that they were coming to Belfast, and I was aiming towards this date, so it was just perfect. Once he beat Troy, it was perfect. He's the ideal fight for it, so I asked Dean for this fight.
Beautiful. That's why you cannot miss Cage Warriors 140 in Belfast on June 25th. If you want to buy tickets, make sure to go on to Jordan's Instagram. The link is there. If you want to buy tickets off Paddy, make sure to go to Paddy's Instagram and buy the tickets there. Ross, this is going to be an absolute cracker.
It absolutely is. I can't wait for it. To me, it's got Fight of the Night written all over it. Paddy,
Performance of the night. Performance of the night.
Oh, what's called a few people be looking for some of that cryptocurrency. Paddy, obviously you've been to Cage Warriors events before. You've seen behind the scenes. How excited are you to make it your turn to be the person making the walk?
Yeah, I can't wait, mate. I'm really looking forward to it. I can't wait to just earn my stripes and them yellow gloves. You know what I mean? Like my teammates have done before me. Just getting over to them shows and getting the feel for the bigger cage, and knew that's exactly where I need to be in that big cage. That's where you'll really see the best of me. In them smaller cages and cage conflict and stuff, like fucking 2 steps back and you're on the cage and there's cage wrestling most of the fights. It's all a load of bollocks. So I'd rather have the bigger cage and you'll see a real scrap. You know what I mean?
Jordan, you must be licking your lips here and that a real scrap.
Fuck, that sounds good to me.
100%.
For once, we'll see. He takes the first 2 steps back in.
We'll see.
And then, Jordan, you fought a lot of guys from Paddy's gym. Do you feel like there's some sort of unwritten rivalry now between yourself and FAI?
Not really, no. It's just so happens that a lot of the big guys from around Ireland are at FAI. You know what I mean? And they take fights. You know what I mean? They're not scared of taking fights and stuff like that. There's no bullshit with them. They come out and put on a fight. Like, so I think that's just the way it works out. Doesn't really matter what club they're from or anything like that there. It doesn't really bother me. It's just an hour fight at the end of the day. Just happens to be FAA again.
Unfortunately. And Jordan, do you view this almost like a hometown fight? I know you're not originally from Belfast, but I mean, this is one of the, I suppose, the biggest city closest to your home. So do you see this as a hometown fight for yourself? Sorry, Jordan, that's for yourself. No, I'm saying, Jordan, do you see this as a hometown fight for yourself? Yeah, because it's probably
100%. I think Gibbons way down the road, like it's only 45 minutes down the road, and it's going to be a massive, massive crowd coming up the road, and I'm sure obviously Paddy's from Belfast as well, so it's going to be, even though we're probably going to be down the ball a bit, it's going to be there's going to be a lot of crowd in there already. You know what I mean?
Hopefully they put it on the main card, be lethal on the main card, on all Irish middleweight scrap. Like, why not? They should put it on the main card. Like,
I do feel like wherever this is on the card, I think the arena is going to be full for. I think this could be this give me sort of reminiscent of UFC London. I feel like from start to finish, you're going to have, the fans are going to be interested in every single fight in the card. Like, you have to get there half an hour before the first fight and see this card from start to finish, because there's going to be some of the top talent across Europe and some of the top talent in the UK and Ireland on this card. It is going to be an absolute banger. Paddy, obviously you saw the last fight Jordan was in against her teammate. What did you take away from that fight? And was there any areas you thought you could expose in Jordan's game?
Mate, to be honest, mate, I actually haven't watched it, so I haven't a clue to give you. Like, I've watched a few of his fights before, so I actually wanted to fight him before Troy. Like, before Troy, I was saying to Pat, like, I want that fight with Jordan O'Neill, and then Troy called him out. I was like, what the fuck are you doing? I want him. So then that fight happened, but I actually haven't watched it. Is it a stream or something? I actually don't know how to watch it. Is it on YouTube or?
We'll get you the link sent afterwards. We have
I
the
actually haven't watched it, so I'm not really taking much away from the Troy fight. You know what I mean? He's a welterweight, and he fought him at light heavyweight. Like, now you're fighting a middleweight at middleweight. You know what I mean? There's not going to be any difference here. If anything, he's going to pay the price for cutting the middleweight. You know what I'm saying? I walk about. I make middle handy, so I don't need to be cutting any carbs or anything on fight week for middleweight. So you'll be getting a fucking fully fledged middleweight come the 25th of June.
And live on UFC Fight Pass as well. Yeah, Jordan, this is obviously going to be your pro debut, and Paddy's 2-0 now in his professional career. Like, do you see that as how much of a disadvantage do you see that as going and making your debut against someone who's 2-0 in Paddy?
Not really. It's Paddy's the 2-0. It's on Cage Conflict, like it's not on Cage Warriors. Do you know what I mean? This fight sort of
the last guy who
it's a resemblance of
on Cage Conflict was coming off a win on Cage Warriors.
I don't know what he said. But I was chatting there. What was I saying? The fight resembles like Ian Gary, James Sheehan. You know, Ian Gary coming and proving the Cage Warriors, James Sheehan having a couple of pro fights, and it's the two best prospects from Ireland. You know what I mean? It's sort of the same. And I see myself doing an Ian Gary and going on a run after this year.
That's actually a good analogy.
Paddy, how do you feel about that analogy?
See the guy who had to beat Cathal Manning. So he said it's all in Cage Conflict as if it doesn't mean anything, okay? Cathal Manning has had 3 fights, 2 on Cage Conflict, and he's got smoked twice in the first round, and he's had 1 on Cage Warriors, and he finished the guy. So what the fuck does that mean?
I just meant it's a smaller cage, and it's like your home show. You know what I mean? It's a different fight. Like,
there's still legit wins. If that guy can win on Cage Warriors, it's still a legit win. And the small cage like goes against me. I'm a striker, you know what I mean? Like, the small cage goes against me. See that guy Pedro Plesca I just beat for my debut? He's a fucking nightmare in a small cage. And I still got him out of there in the first round. Both them would batter you.
Okay.
Facts. Cathal Manning would beat you at your own game, and Pedro Plesca would throw you about like an empty tracksuit.
I've never heard that before. Throw you about like an empty tracksuit. Guys, this actually is going to be like definitely on the feet, and it's going to play out there. Is there any inclination, Paddy or Jordan, that you're going to go for the takedown at all in this fight?
We'll see who shoots first.
That could be fucking me, and I don't know.
I love it. I think this fight has all the makings of an absolute classic, and it's a great opportunity for you guys on the platform. What does it actually mean to yourself, Paddy, to fight on the Cage Warriors platform? I know you said you've had your eye on this day for a while, but do you feel like this is almost like a coming out party for you?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, see, like over the lockdown now, like 2 years straight, 2 years in a lockdown, and I was training every single day, getting people ready to fight on Cage Warriors, and I wasn't getting the fucking opportunity. So it was a nightmare, you know what I mean? Going to training every morning, every night, and not being able to fight on these shows. So it was always the goal. So now that it's finally here, I'll be making the most of it. You know what I mean?
And then Jordan, I don't think your amateur record actually tells the whole story, because you're actually 5-0 in your last 5 fights. And do you feel like Cage Warriors recognised that and then saw a potential star in you and then wanted to get you on this card? And how do you feel about making that debut on the big stage?
I think it's right. To be honest, there's not a lot of muddle about, even a pro, you know, in Ireland, to be fighting on them smaller shows. I just think it's right. I deserve to be there, and I'm going to prove that. And the 25th of June, like 100%. And then this is going to catapult me straight forward into the top ranks of Cage Warriors.
And then just to touch on that, Jordan, like you said, there's not an extremely large amount of middleweights even on the Cage Warriors roster just yet. How many fights do you think you could be away from actually ending up, you know, in the title contention?
5 fights. 5 really good ones. You're on about a title, like.
And what do you feel, Paddy?
how many fights until a title?
Yeah.
I'm not really trying to run before I can walk. See, the main thing for me was clearing out Ireland. Clear out Ireland, then go Europe, then go on to the best in the world. I think that's the best way to do it, and that's how you build a wee fan base, you know what I mean? As Jordan said, there isn't many middleweights. So I just said to myself, I'll just clean out all these middleweights at Ireland before I start trying to take on the big dogs in Europe. Cahill, Manning, Pedro Plesca, they're the only two I could find, and then obviously Jordan was getting a bit of momentum at amateur. So I knew I would eventually be fighting Jordan. You know what I mean? If he was losing these fights, I would have no interest in fighting him. I want to clear out the best in Ireland before I go on to the best in Europe, and eventually the best in the world. So after I beat Jordan, I don't really think there is much more middleweights about Ireland. So then I'll start pushing on then top dogs in Cage Warriors. When I look at the Cage Warriors middleweight division, it's wide open really. Like other than Duncan and your man Will Curry, the rest of them are just wee hard doormen. So it shouldn't take too many fights to clear them out.
And then, Paddy, obviously you've trained for 5-5s before. Do you think that will play an advantage cardio-wise?
It is a game changer, mate. In 5 minutes, like I'm sure, even if you've sparred for 5 minutes, Jordan, it's a fucking night and day. Like 5 minutes is a long time, and you really get it's a real scrap when it's 5 minutes, because you get to see everywhere in the scrap. Like if there's an area where you're not up to scratching, it'll be found out over 5 minutes. Where sometimes in the amateur, 3 minutes, like sometimes people just fucking hold cunts against the cage and the raid fights out, and you don't really see how the fight would actually play out or who the better fighter is. They're just raiding rounds out because they're so short. But over 5, you really find out what it's all about and who's the better fighter. So I think this should be the 5 minute rounds. I'm a more patient, high skilled fighter compared to these fucking maniacs who'd be fighting amateur just going mad.
And Jordan, how do you feel that those 5 minutes are going to play in? And do you feel like dropping down to middleweight will actually increase the gas tank as well?
100%. Suits me. The same as Paddy. 5 minutes suits me 10 times better. You can get on. You can set a rhythm. Get into a way of setting stuff up and actually tactical fighting rather than just going out and blitzing each other to try and get the dominant position and then just holding it. It's a better way of fighting. It's the way I love fighting. So I'm looking forward to it, and I think it's going to work out in my benefit, to be honest. As far as going down to middleweight, I don't really say going down to middleweight. I know I've fought at higher weights and stuff at amateur, but that's me just taking fights. Like I am a middleweight. I could even push the welterweight if I wanted to. But I'm not walking about it no mad high weight. I'll make middleweight with ease. So it's going to make me sharper and lighter in the feet, and the hands are going to be quicker. So everything's just going to work out perfectly for it.
Not quick enough.
Lads, needless to say, this is going to be we're really excited for this. I'm sure everyone tuning in now can't wait to see it. You're both getting a huge opportunity, making your Cage Warriors debut in Belfast, where all the eyes will be on the event as well. So everyone will be tuned in, and they'll know the winner's name full stop after this. And we'll know in Ireland who's number one. The Cage Warriors know exactly what they're doing, matching you two guys up, and we cannot fucking wait to see it. Myself and Ross will be there as well. We can't wait, and the countdown officially starts now. The posters come out today, and may the best man win. Obviously, before we wrap things up, lads, is there anything you want to say to each other in the build-up? The Cage Warriors 140 Belfast, June 25th, live on UFC Fight Pass. If you want to buy tickets, go on Paddy's Instagram. If you want to buy tickets, go on Jordan's Instagram. Lads, anything you want to say to each other before we wrap things up?
Jordan, are you confident?
Yeah.
Are you confident? Really confident?
100%.
Bat me your purse. Hey? Bat me your purse.
No problem.
Right?
Done.
Use the thing this, right? Use the
Done.
thing this, yeah? So the purse is on the line here, 100%?
Done.
Copy this. No problem. Good
Done.
man.
No problem.
Never had that before on the Energized show.
Never had that before, lads.
All day long.
That's what you get a UFC Fight Pass, Ross.
Easy money on the crypto.
Let us know in the comments who you think is going to win on June 25th. Is it going to be Jordan? Is it going to be Paddy? Is it going to be a draw? We don't even know.
Guys, thanks a million for coming on with us. Really appreciate it. This is going out on UFC Fight Pass and on YouTube. If you are watching on YouTube, make sure to like, share, subscribe. And as always, stay energized.
Energized show, up the Irish. Been sussing you guys a couple of times. I've seen a couple of clips. I think you've done some interviews with Dylan Moran and that I saw. So keep going, keep up the good work, guys.